North Korea calls John Bolton a war maniac who is wrecking peace and security across the globe. So North Korea accurately describes John Bolton. You know, what if we found out that all of his warmongering was contained in his mustache? What if all we had to do was just shave John Bolton's mustache and he'd be like, oh, wars? We gotta end them. What if, like, we just shave his mustache and all of a sudden Give Peace a Chance by John Lennon just starts playing and a rainbow pops up and then Here Comes the Sun comes on. And then Unity by Operation Ivy pops up. Stop this war. And John Bolton's like, yeah, I feel totally different. I don't know what's changed. And it was all because of his mustache. Free the mustache. Bring about the peace. That's what it takes. I doubt there's anything to that theory. I mean, we can't disprove it. We don't know. He might be a huge peacenik, and if you shave his mustache, peace be with you, says John Bolton. Not in the religious way, in the world way. Like, hey, we're going to end all the wars. And he's just going to be like, peace be with you. Maybe it's all in the mustache. I mean, there's probably not much water to this theory. But we may as well try. John Bolton, shave your mustache. Anyone close to John Bolton, if you're watching the show, I'm sure you're not. Why would anybody close to John Bolton watch a show like this? It makes zero sense. But just in case that is happening, see if you can get him to shave his mustache. And if he does, maybe, just maybe, he's not going to be, as North Korea accurately describes him, a war maniac. After all, it will be fit to call Bolton not a security advisor striving for security, but a security-destroying advisor. And there he is, and there is that warmongering mustache. All right, so North Korea on Monday, this is the article, called U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton a war maniac who is undermining global security and diplomacy after Bolton accused North Korea of violating international law with missile launches earlier this month. Our military drill neither targeted anyone nor endangered the surrounding countries, but Bolton makes dogged claims that it constitutes a violation, impudently poking his nose into others' internal matters. Because keep in mind, it's fine when we fly fighter jets into territory we shouldn't be. It's fine when we have ships in international waters where we shouldn't in an intimidating fashion. It's fine that we have military bases all over the world. I mean, you have to ask the question, who's intimidating whom? And you get your answer. I'm certainly not saying the government of North Korea is perfect. Of course it isn't. Far from it. But when you look at what the U.S. does around the world and what people like John Bolton are doing around the world, we're not the good guys here. We're not the good guys. And by the way, friendly reminder, there can be a situation where there's no good guys. That's a real situation. Life is not a superhero movie. Life is not a feel-good story. There can be a situation where there are no good guys. And when it comes to our military pursuits across the world, there are no good guys. What our government is doing, we are not the good guys. We are just pillaging in pursuit of resources. And we've built an economy around war. And we're sending our brothers and sisters off to fight these pointless wars that we shouldn't be in, that are just padding the pockets of CEOs and billionaires and high-ranking officials and defense contractors. That's all it's doing. And here you have North Korea accurately describing John Bolton as a war maniac, which he is. All right, so let's get back to the article, see what else is going on in here. It is not a mere coincidence that criticisms are now being heard in the U.S. that Bolton is a warmonger, whispering war to the president when he himself evaded military service. This is from the statement. After all, it will be fit to call Bolton not a security advisor, striving for security, but a security-destroying advisor who is wrecking peace and security. So he really does fit in with the Trump administration in this regard. They have an education director who's destroying education. They have a housing director who's not doing shit for housing. They have an EPA director who is set on destroying the environment. They have a security advisor who is set on destroying the planet and all other countries and our security. So that's typical of the Trump administration. You know, you put people in charge of things so they can destroy it. so they can destroy it. They came up with the AHCA bill that destroys healthcare. Hey, we have a healthcare bill. What does it do? It takes healthcare away from millions of people. Isn't that like an anti-healthcare bill? Yeah, but fuck it. We don't give a shit. That's what the AHCA should really be called. The Anti-Healthcare Act. That's what it should be called. Anti-Healthcare Act. All right, but let's see if there's anything more to Johnny B here. Does anyone call him Johnny B? Maybe what happens is that if he shaves his mustache, he becomes a peacenik, and he goes, please call me Johnny B. And you're like, really? Johnny? And he's like, yep, Johnny B. That's my name. Don't wear it out. I am Johnny B, the peacenik. Stop these wars. And we're like, man, that mustache. With the mustache, he's John Bolton. With the no mustache, he is peacenik Johnny B. Let's find out. I mean, hey, we might as well try. I mean, it couldn't make things worse. If you shave his mustache, oh, he's still a warmongering maniac. So, we have nothing to lose, but potentially things to gain. All right, let's see. Okay, so the exchange between Bolton and North Korea comes as Bolton continues to escalate military tensions and threaten regime change in Iran and Venezuela. The North Korean official alluded to Bolton's belligerence towards these countries in the statement on Monday. So here's that quote. Bolton stood in the forefront of leading the Iraqi war and abrogating the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty that has served to ensure peace in Europe for decades, and he is now gaining notoriety as a warmonger for his obsession with other wars in the Middle East and South America. And how many of those wars have been justified? How many of those wars have been successful? Zero. And they weren't successful because there wasn't really an option for success. It was just set up. It was just set up to make the rich richer and screw everybody else, while destroying countries. All right. Such a weird way to end. Johnny B. Shave the mustache for the peacenik Johnny B. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news